Welcome back, guys. In this episode I'm going to try to assess the situation we're in and to formulate some kind of strategy for the way forward. Right now, Brunei are definitely at the top of the list of targets. Majafit was also a possibility. We do need territory here to form Malaysia, but I'd like to keep the nation connected. I want to be able to walk from one end to the other in case we're beaten in the sea. I don't want to have any provinces abandoned. So yeah, I'm going to have to formulate a way to bring down Brunei. I'm very much regretting the royal marriage we entered into. If you declare war with a country of alliance with, you'll lose stability. If you cancel a royal marriage, you'll lose stability. I really didn't expect to be going to war with them for quite some time. At least enough into the future that it wouldn't have been an issue. But first of all, we're going to have to wait for Ligure to convert. Brunei have a considerably larger navy, I believe. Okay, 6 carats, 4 transports, that's not too bad. That's probably more than I can afford myself. Carats are 43 ducats, that's quite a lot. I suppose the option is to mint. Okay, yeah. Whilst I'm waiting for Ligure to convert, I'm going to again mint like a crazy person. I'm extremely lucky to have had that inflation reducing event. So that will be a few years to build some carracks. Because if I want to take any of these territories, I'm going to have to take the fight to the mainland here and hold at least some of their territory as well. I want this to be decisive if we go to war. I at least want to come... Asia absolutely required. These 2 territories would be nice. All 3 would perhaps be pushing it a bit too far. Neither of these territories have forts, remember. And dealing with territories without forts was very fun. They do have the problem themselves that if we can beat their navy, they'll be unable to bring troops over here. In fact, given that we have the same culture of Malayan, if there were any Patriot rebels to spawn, then it's possible they would defect to us. But then again, there's also a possibility that they form Atcha, which is far more likely actually. If you were to send in spies to fund the rebellion, then yeah, they would be friendly, but no, I'm wrong there. That wouldn't happen. Let's speed things up. Pegu feel the need to warn us not to go to war. Just another thing to consider. But we can change a slider, which is always enjoyable. So if I was to head towards plutocracy, I would have the option of having spies as a weapon to use. It would take a long time. I mean, we're not going to be having 10 a year or anything, but it would be something rather than the 0 we're currently producing. I'm leaning away from centralisation because I'd rather avoid any revolts at the moment. You definitely want to be centralised as a country, but the slighter changes, they can hurt you. You'll either lose stability, which I want to keep because I need the money at the moment, or rebels will spawn. And chasing rebels around would at least give you something to watch, but I just can't stand it. I'm going to go for free subjects actually. Heading away from aristocracy would hurt our armies, and yeah, the focus is still on military. Okay, since we've made it easier for the peasants to move around in search of better farming opportunities, it has unfortunately been more difficult to track them down when the army needs recruits. So we're going to lose manpower in Malacca, which isn't great. These carracks, they're big ships, they do take a year to build. Aha, I'm very happy to see that I'm having rebel problems. I think this would be a good time to break the royal ties. At least while I'm minting, the stability hit won't affect my income too badly. And speaking of the economy, now may be a good time to look at advisors. There are only 2 available, none of which are particularly useful right now. There are no more buildings I can build, so I'm going to use my magistrates and just create some culture. It's 5 paintings. Now what would be useful? Government tech is a priority, so having an advisor that will increase the investment in that field will be useful, but right now it's either going to be inflation reduction or monthly stability, and I'm going to go for monthly stability because I'll be declaring war on these guys shortly without a casus belli, and that's going to hurt my stability. And I've got a level 2 Master of the Mint, so I'll give those 2 jobs. It's barely going to make a scratch on our inflation rate, but every little helps. Excellent. Our policy of choosing the offensive over the defensive has led to tales about the elan of armies. Just speed up again until something happens. Stability increase. Another boat. A revolt in Lagoa. I'm paying my troops. That should be okay. Again, another warning by Khmer there. I do hold territory here that's considered part of the Thailand culture here, so yeah, they're going to want these territories back. There are always going to be difficulties though due to the fact that we are of a different religious group. Another warning. This is worrying. If we are to declare war on another nation, then every country that's warned us will have a casus belli on us. At least that's the rebels taken care of. Just checking there that Brunei weren't also building ships as we build them. Two more carracks ought to give us a comfortable lead on Brunei's navy. That's good. Another warning. From a Jaffa this time. Okay, now Ligure have been converted. It's going to be... hopefully it should be cheaper to convert. To stabilise. Yeah, that's come down from 56 now to 39. Somewhat helped the revolt risk as well. Ah, there we go. The Japhets have declared war. They are, in fact, one of our desired locations. Oh, dearie me. The main problem, of course, is that it's given Brunei the opportunity to attack them. Okay, it's a bit fast. I'm going to take my troops over there and see what we can do. We may be able to get some funds from them at least. We are leading the war at least. Okay, that's a long way around. Fortunately, their navy is dwarfed by ours. They have 3 transports compared to our 7 transports and 5 big ships. Oh my, Sulusi. Okay, our first naval fight. This essentially works the same way as land combat, except if you win, the defeated navy will automatically run away to a friendly port. You can't chase them down like you can an army. You also have the chance of capturing ships if you win. It's not surprising that we have the edge here. Okay, that's the last carrack ordered. Pegu have declared war on their neighbour. That's good in the sense that I'm happy they're directed elsewhere, but I don't really want to see either of these 2 countries strengthened. But there's nothing I can do about it at this stage. The state has lived off the contribution of the nobles for a long period of time. Now the country is doing well, so the nobility is eager to get their cut of the cake. Now we can ignore them and lose stability, or pay them off with 33 ducats. We don't have that much money. I don't want to have any loans, so I'm just going to ignore them. We are in fact going to run a deficit, but not until December, and that's fine. As long as you run out of money in December, it's okay, because when January comes, you get your yearly tax bonus. Okay, it would be great to capture a ship in this combat, in this little skirmish. I had been hoping these would be Malacca rebels. The more countries there are here, the more weaker targets to prey upon, but also the less powerful the other nations. Powerfuler, yes, I'm just making up words as I go along. And it's glorious. Now, this may be a bit sneaky and possibly exploitative, but I think if you're at war with a nation, you are allowed to enter their territory, even if it's undiscovered. So this could be an opportunity to uncover some of the map. I don't know if that's intended, or... Yes, yeah, I can enter this and explore it. A peace offer? No, you started this. We'll finish it. I mean, if we could get them to release Bali, that would be another ally in the region. Okay, we are actually running a safe deficit, so I'm going to have to mint just to keep us afloat. I'm sure I will get to invest in government eventually. I think I've spoken about this before, but at this stage of the game, I don't mind incurring inflation. I don't mind falling behind on research, as long as I get to become the dominant power in this area. Okay, so we have actually uncovered some territory, but unfortunately we've walked into an ambush. I'm going to be trying to pull these men back as soon as possible. In fact, I'll go and join Brunei rather than fleeing to the ships. Yeah, I know I lost, but that's fine. I don't know if we can uncover any more territory here. I mean, we can go down, but it's going to come at the cost of these men's lives. I do feel bad about that, a little. Not enough to change my mind, but there we go. So we don't have the option to completely annex them, which also means vassalising them is going to be out of the question. We have the option of forcing them to release Bali, though. I don't know why they can't release Malacca. They have a core there, so it must be because it's under rebel control. Unfortunately, I lack the power to drive that army away. Oh yeah, that's fine. I knew we were going to lose those men, but we've uncovered more territory than we need. This undiscovered territory is a problem. I have no idea if there's a territory here, if this is the coast. And as you saw, to get from here to here, you have to go a long way around. Still, we've got a decent navy now, which should be able to compete with Brunei. Brunei do have more troops, though, as demonstrated in this conflict. I can support more troops, so I shall reduce them now, whilst jeopardising my economy, except any crimes. Okay, next month's ability will go up, so back to investing. $14.21. We're getting closer all the time. Yeah, I just wish we could sail through that. You can only start uncovering territory once you have an explorer. That's something you can't get until you have the quest for the New World national idea. At the moment I'm leaning towards having that as my first idea, just so I can uncover these territories. If I can start colonising these outlying islands as well, that will drastically increase my income. The siege is coming along nicely. We've got a breach in the siege now. If we were to assault, which we can do. For some reason we're in charge of this siege. I'm sure Brunei were in this territory first. But there we go. I'm just going to wait, I'm not going to assault. Also, if they manage to finish a cog, they will be flushed out into the sea once we take control of this province. I'm very surprised to see us having a negative war score here. But as you can see, their war exhaustion is rising. It's very good. We're definitely not taking white peace from this conflict. Brunei are charging in, so we'll be following them. Yep, that's the cog. And that has drastically changed the war score. I don't really know what I can get from this conflict other than the release of Bali and another ally. they do have money to offer. It is looking like a possibility that they'll release territory to us, but again, I'm just going to be unable to support it. Oh, and for some reason to become part of Brunei. We don't want that. Okay, so they're going to release Bali. That will create another nation in the region. They'll be allied with us automatically. And all any treaties they have with Champa, I wouldn't want them forming an alliance or anything like that. And they'll give us some money. Really, that's the best I can hope for from this. I don't want to be focusing on this area yet. Brunei are my target, but still we've gained an ally. It's another friend in the region. They may turn out to be another target, and here we go. Yeah, the alliance is broken. War is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have no casus belli, so we are going to be hit to stability. But right now, I need to hurt Brunei. I need to invade. We need territory here. I want action. We're gonna get it. Positive thinking. I'm going to leave it a couple of months for my manpower to recover. Get a little bit of a war kitty. Ah, speaking of which. A delegation of aristocrats came to us today to thank us for favouring them in government. In fact, they are so grateful that a small voluntary contribution was made to the treasury. Small? That's not small, that's more money than I've ever seen in my life. So, the basic war strategy will be to defend the homeland with our fleet, take the territories here, because there's no forts, and just hope to keep these guys contained until we're in a position to invade the mainland. I know that sounds exciting, but you'll just have to wait till next time before we do that, as I'm now going to call it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.